Hello and welcome to the pre-match hangout, Arsenal versus Aston Villa. We got an away trip to Villa Park. Today I'm joined with Rayhan. How you doing?
Yeah, good, Jack. Always such a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. You haven't been on the show for a while, but it's
Yeah, it's been
it's
some
great that you're
time.
back.
Thank you.
Moran, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
It's good to hear. So just to get you guys started up with some lineup news, we got a back four of Chambers, Koscielny, Mertesacker, Gibbs, a holding pivot of Arteta, Ramsey, an attacking trio of Cazorla, Ozil, Oxlade, Chamberlain, and then up front Danny Welbeck. There was the original team sheet had Alexis Sanchez starting, but they've changed that with Oxlade, Chamberlain coming in. I'll start with you, Rayhan. What are your thoughts on the lineup? Because I know we were talking before, and you're dreading this 4-1-4-1 formation.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, obviously over recent weeks Arsene Wenger's been using the 4-1-4-1. I've not seen it to be effective at all. In fact, I think our form has dropped severely. I mean, maybe we could say in the Man City game we pulled off a decent performance with that 4-1-4-1, but even so, I don't think that's the best way to maximize the potential of our players. So it'll be interesting to see how our players respond today if they are going to carry out that formation once more.
How would you, with that formation, how would you maximize the players right now? We have Ozil, Cazorla, Ramsey, who else? Oxlade, Chamberlain. How would you organize it today with that formation?
Well, ideally, I'd play a 4-2-3-1. Um, that's what really gets the best out of Ozil, and as well, it covers more sensible areas of the pitch. Because if we are going to do zonal marking like we've been doing, then we would have to cover those areas as opposed to leaving a pocket uh, in space, a pocket of space with one central defensive midfielder.
I agree. Moran, ask you about the lineup. How are you feeling about it today? We're a little short on defenders. What do you think of the back four with Callum Chambers playing at right back?
Well, I'm more calm about it than I was midweek at the Dortmund match. I think Chambers, same age as Bellerin, just more experience. He just has that under his belt. Defending's got to be better though. At the Dortmund match, we're very exposed on the counter. The pace of Dortmund really got to us, and with players like Agbalmahor for Aston Villa, it could potentially be the same thing that happens today. So we got to really cover that up.
What do you want to see from our hitman up top, Danny Welbeck? Ran. Hasn't scored an Arsenal goal just yet, but he's getting closer and closer. He had a couple good chances midweek against Dortmund. I thought he had a great match against City. What do you want to see from Danny Welbeck today?
Well, obviously, I want to see him score. I want to see him on the goal sheet.
Yeah.
But I think Danny Welbeck is settling in well. Maybe he does need a bit more time just to adjust to the new style of play and the players around him slotting those balls through. I do think he should be a bit more clinical, but I'm not going to be too hard on him just yet. I think there's still good things to come from Danny Welbeck, and hopefully today he can deliver.
Yeah. Moran, Jack Wilshere had a great performance on, what was it, last Saturday against Manchester City, and midweek against Dortmund. No one really had a good match, but were you surprised to see him not in the lineup today?
No, I think Zorla deserves a match or two. I think because the thing with Wilshire is, even though he had a great performance last week, his consistency is still not there. The way he plays, it at times it could really put Arsenal on the back foot because the way he plays, he really likes to go forward, really likes to play, force that ball through to the striker. His penetration, you know, that's how he loves to play. And then sometimes if it doesn't work out, he's caught off track, and the other team has an opportunity at a counterattack. So with Cazorla, the thing with him, he's more patient, and he'll really look to pick out that ball, which is something you really want to seek in someone playing in the number 10 role. That's why I've always wanted Ozil there, because the number 10, he's got to be able to, find those. He's got to really place those balls for those wingers and the strikers. So I'm liking the Cazorla selection, to be honest.
Okay. I want to see a big match from Mikel Arteta today. There's been a lot of criticism, obviously, for that defensive mid spot, and going against a team like Aston Villa, I want him to play to his strengths. We all know he's not the best physical athlete, but we do know the way he can dictate the pace of a match. His on-the-ball skills is exceptional. Hopefully, he can really control the match, dictate where the ball is going to be, and just overall have a good game. Because he isn't a terrible, terrible defender. He can still get stuck in, and that's something that I appreciate from Mikel Arteta. But what are you looking for him from him, Rayan?
Well, I think he has to improve on many fronts. Obviously, you can never improve his pace because he's at a tender age of 32 now. The physicality is not quite what one would demand from a central defensive midfielder. I think today, if he can sort of maintain a certain degree of resoluteness and then really protect that back four, use his vision.
Yeah.
Because he has so much experience, he should really use his vision to sort of interpret what's going on in the game as opposed to being caught back and having to backtrack, which he can't do. You know, he has to use that experience to try and get his way through, like much the same way as Andrea Pirlo does for Juventus. You know, he's not exactly very quick, but he uses his experience to read the game and then dictate the play from behind. So I'm hoping Arteta can do that. He's had a few slip-ups in recent games. Obviously, there's that shocker against Dortmund. We're just only too lucky for them not to score. But I think he has to be very, very careful with situations like that.
Moran, let's talk about Aaron Ramsey. Obviously, our star man last year. Kind of gotten off to a slower start this year. What do you want to see from Aaron Ramsey today? Because he doesn't have the goals to his game like he did last year.
And obviously he's not as hot as he was last year. But I think I want to see more defensive work from Ramsey. I don't want him to be too forward because that takes up the alley of the number 10. I want him to be more. I want to be beside Arteta more of the time. Cover for him and just play more defensively. And then when the opportunity arises, to push forward because we get off track defensively and stuff like that with Ramsey pushing up too high at times could really be a worry.
I totally agree. How many times have we seen our box-to-box player go up on an attack and then we lose the ball and then we get hit on the counter because, as Ryan said, we have only Arteta holding, then we have our back four. We see tons of 5-on-5s, 6-on-5s due to maybe our wingers not tracking back and our box-to-box midfielder not tracking back in Aaron Ramsey. But overall today, playing Villa, pretty tough fixture away. I just want to see a good performance. Coming off the match against Dortmund, obviously everyone was disappointed. We got thoroughly outplayed. It was 2-0, but easily could have been 4 or 5. Could have been another one of those drubbings. But Rayhan, what do you want to see from a mentality standpoint for us coming right out of the gates?
Well, that's obvious. We just want to see them be strong in the head. They have to go in with the confidence, having known that they won the FA Cup, they won the Community Shield against Man City. These are top players playing in the Premier League. They have to start playing like it. It really is a mental thing, especially with Ozil. I mean, I find he mentally he lacks that strength and confidence to sort of play. To maximize his physical potential. I think that's what you need. You need a bit of both psychological and physical strength. So I just want to see that, and hopefully they can go in with a winning mentality and confidence in their actual abilities to be able to play their game today.
And yourself, Moran?
Yeah, I totally agree from a mental standpoint. You see, people really look at this game, pundits and such. They're probably looking at it as a trap game for Arsenal, as a potential upset. If another team like Chelsea or Man City came to Villa Park, they expected drubbing for City on Villa. So really, Arsenal should be looked at as a team that can just walk into Villa Park and really take away the 3 points. And that's something that's never been of Arsenal, recently because they lack that mental strength.
Okay, I agree. Let's go to prediction time. Something that we, as always, never get right. I'm going to go with a 3-1 result for Arsenal. I'm expecting a man-of-the-match performance from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's finally getting the start today. He's one of those energizer bunnies, just raring to go. Every time he comes off the bench, he looks great. And I think he's going to exploit his pace against the Villa defenders, and I think he's going to have an overall fantastic game. Let's go to Morant. What's your predictions for the match?
I'll just stick with what the score was last year at Villa Park. I'll stick with a gritty and close 2-1 result. I think Villa will make it difficult at times, but I think Arsenal at the end of the day will have the quality to get by them.
Rayhan?
Yeah, I'd probably have to agree with Moran. I think 2-1 sounds reasonable. I mean, our defensive form has not been too good of late. I can definitely see us conceding in this one. Obviously, with the sheer physicality of Aston Villa as well, being a threat. So 2-1. I can see Danny Welbeck getting one today.
I like it.
Hope for the best.
Yeah. Thanks for all your comments today. We don't really get to many comments on the pre-match show, but we will get to those comments at the halftime and full-time show. We really appreciate you guys sending those comments in because it makes the show a lot easier. It gives us things to talk about. And we're just excited for the match. We're about 20 minutes till kickoff. We'll see you guys at halftime and full-time. Any last words, boys? Nope. Okay.
Come on, the Arsenal. Let's do this.
We're all set. All right. Up the Arsenal.
All right.